How are you doing today, good vibber? It is your girl, Esther Joy. She's coming at you with a little live stream. I wanted to give an opportunity to connect with the fam, you know how it be, and talk a little bit about home because you feel like home. Now, but what does that mean? I feel like that is something that has been coming up for me a lot, and I personally still hear it now even more when I'm speaking light language, having that familiar feeling of feeling like I am home. And there are so many of these moments when people will say, or I will feel as if I am home, and really figuring out what does that mean. Right now, I'm at home in my physical body or vessel, anyways. And while we're waiting for some of the Good Vibe fam, if they feel so called to join, they have the link and it's open. So as long as this broadcast is on, they can hop by anytime. And I'm expecting two of them to hop in whenever it is divine timing for them to do so. But without further ado, I just really wanted to acknowledge like, what is this feeling of home that we see so much and sort of yearn for and feel like that is where we're supposed to be? I feel like a lot of star seeds see it as, their star family. And I've talked to a few Octurians lately. They've been coming up a lot. People who have just claim that that is a really big part of their origin and that is their home. And they see that and they've visited that home planet for them. And it makes me think, what is this then? And what's good? These ho, I see you, I see you. Thank you. I appreciate you all for being here, by the way. You all, again, are like soul fam. I feel like you are to me, you feel like home. So I absolutely appreciate it. But yeah, like we have all of these star seeds in different origins, and it's like, what is home? Where are they going? Where are they at? Um, how do they know that's home, right? It's kind of just a feeling you feel, and you're like, yeah, this feels comfy. I feel safe. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. Um, this is home. And I think personally, my soul has been wandering around looking for home. And I feel like Earth is a part of home. Hey, what's good, Josh? I see you. Yo, we about to have a nice little farm. My brother's on a farm right now, so you already know. Yeah, but we all out here. We at home, or home is where the heart is. Like, these are the kind of things I think about. Like, what is home? What does that mean? Is our soul like is does it if our soul knows where home is and our souls are inhabiting our bodies, is it like bringing us to home, or are we already home because this is where we are inhabiting? And I feel like this is like a big old debate we could have. I won't go too deep into it, or maybe I'm not supposed to go deep into it because that's the purpose. But I did want to acknowledge that it seems like a lot of it's weird to say like earthlings, we're all earthlings. But a lot of humans like try to escape this reality or escape like the physical nature of life, and they try to go back home. Like people hit me up and they're like, this is hard. I want to go home. Like I want to compare it to a child that's like not having a good time at someone's house and they're like, yo, I want to go home. I don't want to do this. Or even like my brother, he's out there in country and it's like he might be like, I want to go home. But like really, what is home? What do you what do you feel? And I feel like that's an obvious question. You might know. These ho, I see that you are asking if I can explain what was guided by you to reach out on a bigger level and not be afraid to show this path of life. Ooh, okay. That's a good one. Yeah, we rarely indulge in the course. We just eat and be done. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I know, Josh. I know. I feel you, bro. I know. Yo, Jedi, by the way, I feel like I should just show. Okay. I got my brother. So there's our dog. He's sleeping right now. He's probably feeling like he's at home. And yeah, so let me go back on that. These hoes, you got like a really good question right there. So, like, on a bigger level, I feel like we are all little pieces of what we acknowledge to be home. And when I think of home, I think of like not infinite possibilities all kind of together, right? But it's almost like home is like this place where it's like warmth, right? Where it's just this feeling of I belong here, I am where I'm supposed to be, and like that unconditional love. And I see Jay Supreme out here saying, I think wherever you are able to love the way that you're supposed to, yeah, it uniquely makes you who you are while still being able to receive love. Yes, that is home. That's beautifully worded. Jay, I'm telling you, you need to write a book, my friend. Like I'm still out here waiting for it. But absolutely. Home. I think it's something that we're always striving for, but just like Jay kind of said, it is that place where you feel that kind of unconditional love where you put yourself in there. What is good, Jamin? GH, it's good to see you, fam. Absolutely. But like you are as home as you allow yourself to be is kind of how I see it. Your body is your home while you are here on this earth. And I think I see James out there, and I'm gonna ask him if he's ready. I think he's kind of driving out there, but what's good, James? What's good? Okay, you're driving, so just keep driving. I don't know if he can hear me, so we'll, we're gonna put James right over there. Hey, James. And we're gonna make sure he just keeps driving, and when he's safe, he will join in and talk a little bit more. Yeah, but it looks like he's on his way home. Kind of looks like he's on his way home, which is kind of synchronistic. So, these hoes is just like it's like we have plenty of callings though. Like we only want the safest one, and sometimes it hinders us. And that's why it's hard to be home sometimes. I think that that's a really valid point that you just brought up there, these hoes. Like, yeah, a lot of people like they want to be home, but if it's away from their comfort zone, then like it's like, is that really home though? And it's like, well, if home is where the heart is, where is your heart? For me, it's like, where is your heart opening to receive that kind of unconditional love? And I think that's a really, really big thing. Okay, James, we're gonna switch you. We're gonna switch you. Okay, we're gonna add in James, see how it is. Bro, why is it so loud over there, my man?
Hey, yeah, just so you know, I can't hear anything you're saying, so I think that you said my name, and that's all I know. But I'm over here getting my car done right now, so I just wanted to pop in and let you know that I'm here. All right. Say hi to my new friend. We're getting a car wash together. All right. I'll be in the background.
Nice. Okay, thank you, James, so much. By the way, if anyone who is here and they want to hop in and they can totally hop in the live, it's open live stream. So the link is in the Discord. Absolutely. And I see that Jay said that if you can be yourself enough, even though out of your comfort zone, you can bring your home everywhere. Yes. Absolutely. Like this is why I feel like star seeds. Why are they here? I think they're here because they are that kind of speckle of home. And I personally see everyone as a star seed because we're all made out of the same stuff. We all come from the stars, but we all have a different aspect of home that we're bringing with ourselves. Yeah, straight James, yo, he's vibing. He's vibing out there getting his car washed. Like, respect, respect. I'm gonna see if Isaiah's open, and I'm gonna allow him to hop on here as well. Super happy to see you, Isaiah. What is good?
Good.
Can I
Am I
mute
in?
this? Yes, you are.
I
Okay.
am in. Screw y'all. I made a
Yes.
foolish mistake of riding my bike to this lake that I'm at right now. A lot of
Nice.
hills. So it was, but I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you, fam. You already know. You already know. Just breathe, allow yourself to ground. Like, again, no judgment. And by the way, for anyone who is interested in joining this, because again, this is like an open group, anyone can really join. If you look, there should be the Discord invite link either at like the description box or it's all the way at the top. You know
We will
what? You
force you
you
guys to
can
join
still
the
join.
Discord.
Yeah. There's still space. There's always space. This is just an open conversation for everyone to talk a little bit about home. And by the way, like of course we'll be
Mm.
also looking at your comments and kind of discussing them as we go along. So y'all are part of the conversation. It's always nice to vibe. And I just gotta say, Isaiah, really nice shirt, you know. I don't know, the
Thank
banana
you.
is really speaking to me. Okay. But yeah, like
Just so
I
y'all know
mean
what
this
I'm
is
vibing to. Hey, Sal, right? From Impractical Jokers. Sal. Sal. Hey, this is Sal from Impractical Jokers, guys. Look who I just met.
Really?
You see this guy? I told you. I see him everywhere. Did that not look
Just so you know, people
that's
watching,
crazy.
James is
That is
always
so
talking about
crazy.
Impractical
No,
Jokers in
oh
the
my God.
Discord.
You know, you're perfect
Yeah.
candidate on the show.
James, you're crazy, bro, but thank you for sharing. We appreciate it. That's really cool. Absolutely. Like
He's
right
really
there,
into
I feel like
Impractical Jokers.
yeah, like and James always be sending like Impractical Joker snips on the Discord
Hmm.
chat. So, I feel like in a way that's a part of James like home family, like, and that's really cool that like bam, they out there and we out here like that that makes me smile. And again brings back like what is home? Is home a place? Is it a feeling? Is it like
Hmm.
understanding or knowing? Like what is home? I don't know if you like have moved around a lot. I know personally I've pretty much lived in the same house like my whole life, but I feel like that also plays a role when it comes to how you designate what home means to you.
Yeah, I've moved around
Yeah,
a bit. I was first born in Louisiana. I love Louisiana, but it doesn't feel like home at all to me. I moved to Texas when I was really young, was pretty much raised here. Doesn't feel, I've never really moved anywhere and felt like that state was exactly home to me. So I feel like home to me is more of kind of like a feeling. Because the only time I've really felt like homey was with people. I found a place or whatever you would classify home as in people. So
absolutely.
I feel like if I did have a house that I felt like, okay, this feels homey, this feels like where I'm meant to be. If I take that house away, would I still feel like that space is home, or would it just go away?
That's a really good insight. I'm just gonna stop and read what Jay said about James as an impractical joker. Definitely he's having a good time wherever he goes. Absolutely. And yeah, taking your home everywhere. I think I like whenever I'm talking to James, using him as an example, I think his screen froze. Okay, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry, James. I did not mean to talk about it. No, but definitely like just taking that kind of energy with you wherever you go. And like you were saying, Isaiah, like kind of those people and that feeling is what makes home feel like home. Like areas and locations, they might shift and you might be always going, but like I agree, it's more of like the people that you're surrounding yourself with and the energy that you are feeling that feels familiar for you. And I think it's worthy to note, like, do you think that everyone has, and this is open to everyone, like, to answer, like, do you feel like everyone has the same kind of feeling of home? Or does it vary for each person based on how they're resonating with?
Oh yeah, it definitely varies. I've had people who have like a specific, even if they don't feel like they're at home, they add stuff to their house to make it feel more homey. I wouldn't see myself adding some of the things other people add. For instance, I don't I love the place I live at right now, but I don't feel like this is a place that I feel like, oh, I could live here for the rest of my life. But I make it feel more like home by adding certain things. I add a lot of plants that I love. I know people who don't exactly wouldn't add plants because they don't feel like taking care of them. But yeah, it kind of varies. The things we feel make stuff feel more like home to us, or even just places.
It's very true.
Even places, I there's places I don't feel like I would exactly want to live, but there's people probably at those places that probably love them, love the scenery.
Raising my hand. Raising my hand.
Go on, James. Okay. Okay.
So I agree with everything that Isaiah just said. And I think home, though, I think resonates when you say home. I think it might resonate a little bit deeper with us because everybody can relate to what home is. I think.
Mm.
And my friend over here is probably, I don't know, driving back home, don't know where she's going. But right now, she and I together felt pretty much at home with each other, even though we don't know each other. And sometimes I feel like, you carry your home with you wherever you go as a place of rest, you know? If you can do that, if you can resonate in that space, I think we can all kind of come together on some level.
But
And
do you think being at
that's pretty.
home can be a moment?
But Isaiah, I agree with everything that you just said. And I'm trying to set my home up right now, get my spot all set up right now. It doesn't feel like home yet, but one of these days, hopefully.
Absolutely. Thank you, James.
Makes me
And I,
wonder if being at home can be just a moment, like how James is feeling at home
ooh,
with his friend. If they part away from each other, will they still feel at home, or is it going to go away because of that moment ended?
now that you brought up moment, it really brings a lot of awareness too. Is being at home, being comfortable, being, I don't know if I say comfortable right, but that's how I say it.
I love how you say
Um,
comfortable.
thanks. I yeah, it's like being home, just being comfy, like in that moment, and like just feeling like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be right here and now.
Hmm.
Because like that's a really good, what you brought up. Like,
Supposed to
is
be
it
here getting
that
my
moment?
carpet shampooed at this time because if I don't do it now, then it's probably never going to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. So in a way, like even if we're not technically physically at home, and yes, good to see you, Anthony. What's up? Like, are just being embodying that kind of resonance that allows us to feel at home, is that kind of the essence of home. And Shay says, I'm just gonna read this. I definitely think everyone has their own home. They bring it with them where they go in their own way, finding similarities in other people who bring their home wherever they go. I like that a lot. I like that a lot in a way because we're all kind of resonating at our own unique um, resonance, you could say. It's like each person's going to have their unique signature that, wherever they go, that's where they're vibing at and that's where they're comfy with. Like you were mentioning, Isaiah, with like the plants. Not everyone likes plants. I know, God, what?
Ugh.
But yeah, and that to them doesn't feel welcoming or something they want in their home, whereas others, it's like, yeah, that's what I want. I want to have all these little green leaves around me. Um, but that's like absolutely, I think each person has like their own unique, like home is when you belong. I guess you could say, like, you feel like you belong in this moment. You feel like where you are right now is where you are supposed to be. And sometimes we just kind of decorate our house with those things that kind of reaffirm that this is where I'm supposed to be. And this is like the kind of energy that
Mm.
really resonates with me and allows me to feel comfy as I am. I'm trying to like say comfy more than comfortable. Yeah, but
Embrace the
absolutely
comfortable.
comfortable.
I also feel like uh it's important. I think it's important for everyone to also try to find that sense of home um in themselves in a sense, because I could kind of tell the difference. It, like previously, I feel like there was times where I didn't feel at home in my own body, and I was trying to find this sense of home outside of myself, and that's just gonna like create some separation with you and your, your soul, and it is causes all these other issues, everything. But when you kind of integrate that feeling of home with you, and you can do it with other stuff too. I still think even though you should do it within yourself too, you can still like go get plants, go find a nice house and all of that. But I don't think you should forget about like in here, you know?
100%. Like, that insight, like home is where the heart is. I think we'll explore that
Mm,
today, a little bit deeper. I was just reading what these hosts said about, yeah, like sometimes it's hard to stay true to the different aspects of yourself, especially when like one's always trying to grow. Like that comfort zone almost is always changing. But
uh,
just feeling like you belong is so, so important and valid. And Jay, really nice comment. Like, you feel like everyone's energetic home is grounding for them and bringing them to a place of self and authenticity. And yo, authenticity. I love that you use that word. Like, yes, yes, absolutely. It's like you authentic. Like, I kind of want to go real deep in that word. I feel like it's something that we look for in other people because when we see someone acting in an authentic way, it's almost you feel like like okay, they feel like home because they are just being comfy in that their own energy in their own field. They're grounding in who they are and what they are, and they're showing that authentically. And then my brother's
it brings
missing
you
his keyboard.
it brings you back a
Sorry.
lot to like the root chakra. It reminds me a lot of stability. Like this feeling of home is just kind of like another version, well, a deeper version of grounding in a sense.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I think that during this time, like as the earth continues to do what they be doing out here, we just out here assisting energetically, but like that feeling of home or when people are like we're coming home, I see that as like you said, people are grounding into their root chakra, like they're grounding into their physical vessel, into where they're meant to be, even if it feels like limitations, because we see a home or a house and it has like those four boxes or those four sides, but it in a way you could see it as like, oh no, they're trapping me in, but another way it's like, oh, this is like your gift, this is what you are meant to embody or to fill up, like this is a space meant for you to
Mm-hmm.
embrace as however you see fit. So I think as a collective does that, like as they bring in home, they're bringing in like so much light into that little vessel or that little box that is their own, and that's really what's allowing the planet to kind of just ground into this essence of we are returning home because everyone is allowing themselves to be at ease and be home. Yeah. I'm sorry,
I
by
always
the way, my
wonder. Hmm?
oh no, that's okay. I'll just side note.
I always wonder if I just put myself in some really just a plain dark space with nothing, just me, if I could still find that feeling of home. Like would the darkness become my sense of home, or would it? I just still would it feel like I'm missing something?
That sounds like a source question, my friend. And I feel like that's why we're here in a way because like before we were created, supposedly it was like all darkness and nothingness, and then
Mm.
they were like, hey, I want to feel a home, or maybe they already felt home, but they wanted to dive deeper into what that meant and what that looked like in little individual specks or little particles or little boxes that they could examine deeper. um yep, it's like, yeah, let's okay, let's not see where we go. It's just you're surrounded by the greatest. Guess that, yeah, we're kind of we could be kind of, it goes both ways, Diesho. I
Oh,
think you're making up a valid thought, James.
hey, am I on? Am I on right now? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, you
Mm.
are.
Oh, okay. My phone, I felt like it froze up for a second. I wasn't able to hear everything you guys were saying before, but all I have to say is that my daughter, my youngest daughter, and all my kids really, but my youngest daughter especially, she always, no matter where she goes, she is the most at home I've ever seen anybody. And
Mm.
it doesn't matter where she is, she just, I mean, sometimes she's bored and she wants to, bother me and be like, Daddy, I'm bored, take me somewhere. But she's always in her little world, in her little bubble. And I feel like my world has expanded to include hers, and her bubble exists within my bubble, and she can't perceive my bubble, but I can perceive hers. And like a universe within a universe. You know what I mean? And but I for that little bubble. You know what I mean? Because she's my whole universe.
I get it.
So carry on.
Beautiful.
I love that. That was really nice insight, James. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. And like when he was just mentioning like the words, like she's like your little universe, really, for me that brings on like a lot of meanings as well, just as the wording is beautiful, but also it makes me think of like star seeds and where their home is at, because a lot of star seeds are like, my home is not here, and they're like, I want to go back up to the stars. But it's like, well, got a body right now and you can bring the stars like to you right now,
To your
like
body.
home. Yeah, home is
Mm.
within, absolutely. um so
Starseeds, I
okay.
wonder, are starseeds like a different type of soul? I mean, I know every soul is, from the same thing, but are starseeds like kind of different at the same time? I don't understand.
I think
Are
that a
every soul starseeds, or are there different type of souls that are just maybe one soul is strictly a light worker, one other soul is a starseed? What's the difference?
Yeah, I think it's all about consciousness. Like some people just perceive themselves to be star seeds. Well, some people are
Mm.
like, I'm just human. But like that's just your conscious perception of your energy, and that's what was given to you to perceive. So while some people might be like, I'm a star seed, like a lot of people will be like, I miss my family, I miss my home, I want to end it all. And it's like,
Mm.
what family and home are you talking about? Like, because you're here right now, and I'm pretty sure your family right now would miss you, and you have a home that you're in right now. So I think that there's like, for me, I see that there's a little disconnection when it comes to some star seeds and them trying to find where home is. And like we were
Mm.
talking about that box, them feeling trapped instead of like, this is a place that is meant for you to feel that energy of home into. Instead, they're like, oh no, like I'm trapped in this box, and like,
Embrace the box instead of trying to get out of
exactly.
it.
Yes, I absolutely, like if someone gave you a box and it was empty and they were like, this is your home, you could either be like, this is not my home. Like I remember what my home looks like and this ain't it. Or you could realize like, okay, I remember what my home looks like. I'm going to make this box my like my
Uh,
home, and then whoa, expansion. But I think there's a lot that could be said on that. Like just the fact that it's like you kind of feel like, when I think of someone who feels at home or like make yourself at home, it's just kind of like, okay, like be comfy. Like the energy is open for you to just be as you are. And I think
Hmm.
that's like a really wonderful thing. What's good? Beautiful musician, by the way. And like their songs, I'm just using them as an example, Divine Timing, they remind me of home in many ways. And when I say that, I mean like on that soul level where I'm like, whoa, I cannot use words to describe it, but it's just that feeling you get, and you're just like, yeah, you feel like home. And that's absolutely what I feel. And I feel with you guys as well, you already know. But I just feel like, yeah, when I'm at home, I don't wear like business attire, not that I do anyways, or I'm not like trying to play a part, right? I'm not like trying to be a model on Instagram or anything. Like,
Hmm.
no, I'm just here. I'm gonna take off my shoes. Like, I'm home, so I went outside in my backyard and I laid face down on the ground for like a half hour. And like, that for me is home. And I think the whole earth is our home. And a lot of people sometimes, and I guess I just want to address this, like they look outside for their home. It's like, this earth ain't enough for me, chief. Like, I want more. Like, give
Hmm.
me Mars, give me Jupiter, like bring me back to my home planet. And it's like, can you acknowledge the flesh body that you're in that is supporting you, that every single cell in your body is home because you are its home? Like, it is
Yeah,
only
while
here to
we're in these
support you.
bodies, we need to acknowledge that while we're here, these bodies are our homes. I mean, they're our homes. We kind of need to
Absolutely.
acknowledge that, and then other stuff outside of us can kind of just bring us back to feeling closer to what's in here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Odin, it's awesome to have you here. Very, very thankful. And absolutely, like,
Something very
again, you're like
random.
home. You're like home. And sending you much
Yellow,
love and
the color
peace.
yellow, has been something very prominent this year. That's been bringing me home, or making me feel that sense of home. Makes me even more excited for like the next week's chakra thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so
I don't know
excited for
why. I
you
still don't
too.
know why. It's just yellow is everywhere lately.
You seem to be a very like powerful solar plexus kind of person. And like not in like the woo, like the really fire, but more like the internal power that you have been harnessing, which I think is really cool, especially with just inner worth or showing value to yourself and others. I think that's something that I see within, and I'm very excited to see how you reflect that. I love planes, by the way. I love it. And these
Sorry
hoes
if
really
that's too noisy.
interesting. You're totally good. Like really interesting comment, okay? Like, because in home, you're okay making mistakes, right? It's not like, oh, what are people gonna think about me? Or like, oh, like who's home? You really think your sister cares about, I mean, sorry, my brother's watching this actually. I care about you, Josh, but like I'm not going to judge you if you make mistakes. And I think that's the beautiful thing about home. It's where you can feel comfortable to make those mistakes and be authentic and show those flaws and take off like the mask, literally the mask that you might be hiding behind.
What do you think is going on with people who feel like even in their home they feel like they can't make mistakes, even with their family members or anything there?
Yeah, that is a really good question, Isaiah. Yeah. So people are in the chat. Oh, we love you, Desos. And home is where the heart is. So I think there's a lot going on when you kind of feel like you cannot be your authentic self when you are home or with those people that you reside in home with. Um, I want to say like I could say like, oh, there's an imbalance in the throat chakra, but like realistically, that comes from being taught what home is, right? Like in the beginning, we were kind of talking like some people might have different definitions of what home is for them. And kind of just like everyone was saying, like home is also a place where you can feel that unconditional love. When you have restrictions on what that love means, or when you feel restricted in that box, it's like, I can't get out of this box unless I do X, Y, and Z. If I don't, obey the rules of the household, you could say.
Mm.
And that's a really big one. Oh my lord. Oh, that's a really big one. I think that they also do have a mission. Like, even if you're in that situation where it's like, I don't know, right? I don't know why I feel so insecure or like I cannot really be myself in this environment that I should be myself, like that is a part of your mission. As you know, I
Hmm.
feel like again, if you're watching this, you're probably a star seed. I think we're all star seeds. We all just have different missions that we're here for. We're all seated on the earth in our position and place for a reason. So, like, if you feel like in the physical, like, okay, I do not feel like I can be my authentic self because that is not what home is for me growing up. It's like, okay, your mission is to find out what home is, like to go back to home. Like we are all finding our way back home in our own way. Like I feel like everyone has that issue, Isaiah, and I really like that you brought it up. Like finding out like what does home mean for you? How does that feel for you? We all kind of have an understanding of what it feels like and what it actually feels like. And even when it's off and people are like, don't feel safe being themselves or being their authentic selves or opening up in home, you still have an understanding that you should be able to, on a soul level, because that's what home is. You remember home, but it's like now you gotta like find your way back home. Um, yeah, and
And
I'm Jay. I'm just,
it makes you, or whenever I'm in Texas, I moved to Georgia for a little bit, like a year, and I came back here, and I don't really feel like I feel like home in Texas, but it makes me more grateful being, even though I don't feel like home here, I feel grateful for being here because I'm here for a reason. I feel like maybe I'm meant to be in Texas in this very spot for a particular reason, even though it doesn't feel like my exact home place. I feel
absolutely,
like maybe I'm needed here. I feel like there's a lot of experiences I've been through that probably would not have happened if I just stayed in Louisiana or stayed in Georgia or stayed in another place. So these specific places is a lot more important than we probably realize.
absolutely. And Jay, I'm gonna read your comment. Just working, when you are working on it, I think that's a really good point that you brought up. Like, Jedi, please leave the child and the neighbor alone. But like having that group of people, right? That group of friends that feel like home, that feel like they are helping you find your way back home because you have this shared common authentic goal or interest where you're like, yes, like I feel you on these levels because that is a part of what I believe makes me me and is what I want to invite into my environment
Hmm.
to just embody and fill my cup
Yeah.
with, literally. And that's awesome. Like I feel like that's why we're all here because in a way we feel comfy, we feel like home, and that allows us to kind of really tap into that energy more and to explore like what is home for you, which is we're all trying to find our way. It's like everyone's asking each other like, you know where home is? And they're just like, I have like one letter and this is a whole Sudoku puzzle. I don't know. That's my take. But Odin asked Isaiah, what was the question that you asked in the a little bit before this about home and people that didn't feel so much like home?
Um, I think I asked, what is it when someone is at their home with their family? What allows them? What did I ask? Let me think. Oh, I asked. I think. Okay, you said that being home around your family allows you to make mistakes and be vulnerable and all those things. What makes a person who doesn't feel like they can make mistakes and be vulnerable, even though they're at home, surrounded by their family? What's going on in that situation internally
Mm,
with those people?
mm. That
Does it
could
have to
even be
do
like,
with
yeah,
how they internalize what the feeling of home is? Maybe it's just something completely different. Maybe it's
yeah,
just the family they live with. Who knows?
that's a
I
really
guess it
good.
just depends on the person. But when it comes to home specifically, like you said, maybe
Mhm.
it's just how they were raised to we're raised to
Absolutely.
feel what home is.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, and it could even be like perfectionism, I want to say, plays a role, or like you said, like
Mm.
having those kind of expectations where it's like you must do X, Y, and Z to stay under this roof or to have security and feel like home. But in reality, I don't even feel like that feels like home. Again, that might be more of a prison, like these hosts said. Like we escaping, but where are you going? You're trying to find home, right? Like we're all trying to find that place where we belong and that place where we can really just get along with those people that accept us without doing anything extra, doing anything that we don't want to do. Because there are lots of things that I think we don't want to do because we're lazy, but we know we got to do. And then there's things that like we just like, this is unnecessary for my life. I don't think I need to do this. And I think those are the things that we can kind of be like, yeah, I don't think that's the direction of home. So let's
And
go
it
in the
goes
other
back
direction.
to if I could fully feel like I'm at home with just myself without anything else, it's like no matter where I go, I'll just feel at home without needing anything if I already feel like home with just me. So
Absolutely.
I'm always curious, how can I fully just feel like I'm just at home with just me? Like if I'm in a dark space with nothing else, I'll still feel at home.
Absolutely. And Jay, yeah, I'm happy that you agree. Like one of the ways is like you work on stuff, you have stuff to discuss. It like helps grow that discussion. Absolutely. Which is awesome. Like that's why I'm so thankful that we are all collectively kind of having this conversation, as I feel like it brings us closer to home and just understand what that means for us. And I know it's helping me as well. I'm learning a lot from you guys. So
Mhm.
thank you for being here. Um, Odin's, I'm so happy that like you mentioned what Isaiah was just talking about, like with that isolation, right? And just kind of having that time to yourself to cultivate your own space to find what home means. Yes, thank you so much. But like
I apologize, by the way, for not reading the comments. Like they're so tiny on my screen, I can't.
that's totally okay. And I like
I'm
read
just
them out
silently
loud
allowing
for
Esther to just read them for me.
I read them out loud for anyone who might be like, I don't know, blind or something. I don't know. You think
Hmm.
about it. Um but no, totally appreciate it. And like home is where the heart is. And what does that mean? Let's explore it when we look at that heart chakra, right? When I see the heart chakra, I see
I can't
like
wait for
this.
the heart chakra.
I know you have.
I think the heart chakra is one of my favorite discussions.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Oh my goodness. And you've been doing excellent on this course. I'm excited because I've already, like, I like the heart chakra challenge, but I get to add more. So I'm excited. Anyways, yeah, anyone who is interested in the chakra online course, I'll be going on a rant in that more in future videos. Just keep that in the back of your mind. But absolutely. And Isaiah will be my man to back me up. But yeah, heart chakra when it comes to like home is where the heart is. The heart chakra, is like that zeroing point of energy. We have in the typical seven embodied chakras, we have those three that go above the heart and three that are below. The heart chakra is where that energy reaches a zero point. I think this is really important to
Hmm.
acknowledge, just to explore that saying, like home is where the heart is.
I think
Yes, being
people
fully.
can think a lot with their heart. They can either think with their mind or their heart. So if we're working with, let's say we're doing anything with just our heart, all those things that we're doing, is that just our home now? Or is that what's now feeling like our home because we're putting all of our heart into that? Like, let's say I'm drawing something. There's somebody who could maybe be drawing something from their mind, or either another person drawing something from their heart and putting a lot of love into it. That person who's using their heart might feel like this drawing is what makes me feel at home more than the other person.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sir Jester mentioned like, and I love Odin's I hope I'm saying Odin's. That's a cool name, by the way. Yeah, like being fully grounded at one, beautiful. Just like Isaiah, my man, he's outside grounding on the earth. That's really lit. And Sir Jester
A
just
lot of
says
bugs are
like,
pollinating.
yes,
I'm trying to
okay,
ignore it.
yes. Yeah, you well, it's oh, like over
Mhm.
here it's cold, so like the bugs are still dormant, and I'm just trying to enjoy that while they're still out there sleeping. But yeah. Um, Sir Jester, awesome that you kind of agreed and like understood the
I
Sudoku
just made a heart.
metaphor. Um, Kind of we all have one piece. Oh, I see your pun. Make the word and better put word. Make the world a better place. Yeah. So yeah, we all have these little pieces. And when we come together, we're able to formulate that kind of ideology or that word that really helps. No, absolutely appreciate it so much. Yes, so much. So, oh my goodness, back to that 0 point of energy, like you were saying, Isaiah, like I think that in that area, when I think of like 0 point energy, it's like that you're here and now. You are here and now.
Mm.
Everything is as it should be, like freeze time for a moment, or just be really hyper aware of this moment that we're all in right now. Every single cell in your body, every single like little breath and movement of breath, every single interaction, everything around you, just being really present with everything that is here and now, and then acknowledging it and loving it for as it is right now. And I think for me, like that's home. Like home is where the heart is, and the heart is just the present moment of now, where we are just this one big field love, of love. Ooh, that
Mhm.
sounds like kind of cheesy. But like just diving into what love is and what love means for every person, I think that we kind of understand, unless you were programmed at that time where the household was like, love, you need to do X, Y, and Z for it. Love is actually something that's there always. Your cells love you because guess what? They're all working for you, making sure you alive. They're supporting you. Like every single, like the sun loves you, it's shining on you. Like nothing, it's not doing it because you paid it to, or that you like did its laundry. No, it's doing it because you are a part of it, and it acknowledges this
Mhm.
because you are in that space. Jay
Yeah,
said,
everything is made of love.
exactly. Like I said, people bring some of their own home wherever they go in some way, shape, or form. And when you're able to do things from your heart, it puts you in that flow state when you're able to truly be you. Beautifully said. It's always in the now. Absolutely. Like, yes, it is right now. Like in this moment, you're in the flow state. When you're in the flow state, you're not thinking of like, where is home? You are home. You are creating home. You are doing what you know is yours to do. And it's like, yeah, I'm in this space. The space is in me. I'm just flowing without all that I see. And I'm just dropping bars right now, as you can
Bars.
tell. Yo, I love it. Sir Jester said, seems like the solar seems to be perplexing to most people. Oh my goodness. Yo, wait, what? You're paying for the sun to shine? I'm just joking. I mean, like, how much you paying though? How much you paying? Like, what? I don't want to get like a bill. No, I'm just joking. It's beautiful though. Like, literally, it's so beautiful. The world is so abundant. I think that we, and sometimes we're like a toddler, right? It's just like, I want to go home, mom. I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. And it's just like
Mhm.
we're here to visit, like, bro. We're here to visit. Like, you really want to leave? No. Guess what? Like, you can make this enjoyable for yourself. Your body is your home right now.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful home if you allow it to be. There's like a couple rooms up in your mind, there's a couple rooms in your heart. There's a lot of space in your heart. Your heart can hold a lot of space, but be aware, be aware. Like, are you trying to fill up all that space because you don't want to feel the emptiness? That is actually a blessing in disguise. Um, I think like yeah, emptiness is a nice thing and it also makes room for those kind of mistakes.
It makes me wonder in Cam's situation when she's trying to declutter if that emptiness space could help her with that.
Oh, you are right. I feel Cam. I just wanna like give her a big ol' hug. But yeah, like that's actually a really good one. I think there's a lot of like when I think of the heart space, I like to clean when I tap into that heart chakra. Side note for the
Mm.
challenge that's coming up because those external like in your home, you have only so much space in your home and you fill that space with the things that you love and make you feel more at peace. And like Jay says, especially in that flow state, when you have that balance, you feel comfy and using and doing the things with your heart in the way that brings out your authentic self and some of your unique home. Absolutely. And just like in the actual home, like, and you were describing Isaiah with like the plants, like I keep coming back to that, like, yeah, like our home is just a physical representation of what is in our heart and what we might most find comfort in. So like you're gonna fill your space with what really resonates with you and makes it feel like resonates with you, makes you feel good. And
That makes me
we
wonder if I really.
love you.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, 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 you're good, you're good.
And it makes me wonder if I really don't feel like the place I'm at right now is like feels like home to me. Because if I lost everything, completely everything in that place, it would be saddening. Like all my plants, everything in there. So if I'm sad about losing all that stuff, doesn't that mean that I may feel a sense of home to some of those things?
That's
So
very
maybe this
true.
place does feel like home to me.
Oh, yes, yes. And I think like it goes to show like home is where you spend the most energy, or at least that's where you have the most like residue, I guess, like that is left there. This chair that I'm sitting in, I probably spend like way too many hours that I'm gonna share publicly, like just chilling here, but like there's like a
Mhm.
little aura you could say that just chills even when I'm not here, and like that kind of energy is there. I think that you brought up like a really good point about like attachment. Like if you didn't have those things, you would feel a type of way. You would realize like, yeah, that was a part of my home. Like it's a part of your heart now. Like that's something that you
Yeah,
would
you put
feel a
a
part
lot of
almost
heart
yeah,
energy.
exactly
Mhm.
that you poured your heart into it in a way, and that's how we create home in the physical, right? It's like I'm going to give some of my heart space to like my plant good viber out here. I love him. I mean, I love all my plants. You heard that right, guys? I'm not picking
Mhm.
favorites, but yeah, like I think that when you pour your heart into anything, yeah, yeah, I know. I'm out here. Don't worry, I dance. I got you, Sir Jester. But like, absolutely, like wherever you pour your heart into, dang Isaiah, it is a wind tunnel. I'm not gonna lie. That's okay. That's okay. Um, but wherever you pour your heart into, like that's where it's gonna go, right? Like if you are pouring your heart into your music, then music is gonna feel like home to you. You pour your heart into your dog, then your dog is gonna feel like home to you. Like that is your space, that is your place, and that is where you are resonating. And there's so much to talk about, like the heart chakra. I think is like an amazing chakra, especially here on Earth, where we consider it to be like the heart chakra planet. There's a lot to say on that. Like the Earth just gives us all of this space for us to really share, what is on our heart, what we love with the world. Absolutely.
I think the wind's gone. I think so.
Yeah, it's good. It's good now. Absolutely. But yeah, like I know my brother was in this gym. I'm not sure if he was anymore, but he plays the piano every day for around like 5 to 12 hours a day. Like, I honestly, that's all I see him doing for the past couple of
5 to
years.
12 hours.
I know, crazy. And now he's in Jamaica with my family. And
That
he's been
inspires
missing
me.
his piano. He's a little crazy about it. But I know he mentioned like in the comments like he really misses his keyboard right now.
Mm,
Because that is something that he has just that's what he's invested, he's poured his heart into. So, absolutely, that's just an example that just came to mind. And I know that, yeah, you feel like that kind of grief when a part of your home does go, and you're just like, wow, that was a part of my heart. Like, and the same thing with people, why we feel, people are where the heart or the family is where the home is, something like that. Like, because that is like, it's the home is not the items, it's not a place. It is the
oh shit.
energy that you have acclimated your heart to, acclimated your heart to. I think that's the word. I think that's the word. Like, that's how you have tuned yourself and like with your soul and with your surroundings, what you have harmonized with. Absolutely. Sir Jester. I was thinking about naming them Groot, Griffin, Greg, but I went with Good Viber. I might name
Goodbye.
the next one Groot because I want to like I want it to be a tree though. It needs to be a tree to really live up to its name. A little tiny tree. Yeah. But I just wanted to say with all my heart, like I'm so thankful that I'm able to connect with like all of you amazing people because to me, like yeah, you are where my home is. Like I I don't know if I would say I pour my heart in my channel, but I'm pretty much like kind of an open book. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, fam. And I pour a lot of energy into just like seeing what other people are feeling, seeing where their heart is at. Because to me, I want to be able to just feel that openness and that connectedness of what home is. And it's kind of freaks me out when people are like, you feel like home, and I'm like, but now it's more like, that feels like home. Like you
Mm,
saying that, I feel like I'm at home and I feel safe and I feel like I feel at home, That's all I can say. It'd be a fun drinking game. I'm not recommending, but if you every time we said home, you probably go to
take a
the
drink.
hospital. So
ASAP.
yeah, take a drink of water. Take a drink of water, yeah.
Mm,
Or tea.
yeah, I
Or tea.
can definitely feel the energy you put into your videos. It's like it's you feel whenever someone puts a lot into what they're doing. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why everyone in the chat is here right now because it's just you're so easy to connect to.
Yo, I appreciate you. And what's good, James? We really, yeah, like I really appreciate you all because, yeah, it's like home to me. What's good, James? I see you out there. Hope you're driving safe wherever you are. We love you, bro, and we appreciate that you were able to stop by in the live stream. And we're getting to that point where we'll get like 2 more minutes to have our closing thoughts about
Mm.
all this because you all are amazing. And bro, it just makes me want to like cry a little bit when I realize like, holy shit, like there are people out here, they're weird like me, they like the same things as me, I feel comfy being myself around them. And that's home for me, just like being able to speak with them, realize and reaffirm that yeah, like we are home, like Jay was sharing with his friends and working on those projects, like that is building up your home. And I think
Mm.
like right now a big mission is like finding home, realizing you are home, you've been carrying home with you the whole time, and to bring that into this reality, to bring your home into reality. Like if one more person hits me up and is like, Esther, I want to go back home, I'm gonna be like, it's right here, fam. It's right here. What are you talking about? No, but yeah, it's right here. Like you can try to find it somewhere else, but we all are looking for a home. Like we all have the opportunity to look real deep within ourselves and realize like I need to make my home wherever I am and realize that home is where I am and the energy that I am residing in and the space and the presence that I'm taking up right now. Like that's my home. Absolutely. And okay, I see we got James out here and Isaiah for final last words and love you guys so much.
Just wanted to try to jump in here before you closed out the chat, talking about home and whatnot. And I was just thinking about this recently, honestly, about home with us wherever we go. Because if you think about it, and it doesn't understand what Jesus said when the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, we carry around like this kingdom inside of us, this home, this garden, whatever it is that you want to call it. We go to, that we rest at, and we take it with us wherever we go. It's inside of us. And I'm getting a call, but I just wanted to say that. And knowing that, sometimes I also know that we wish that our homes were somewhere else. You know, when we long for these other places, we long to be at these other places. And then while in that longing, we forget where we are right now in this moment. And where we are right now in this moment is what we have to recognize in order to be able to get on the right trajectory to get to where it is that we want to go. And sometimes I question, and we all question whether or not our wants are in line with what it is that we need. But I think when you go to that place at home, at rest, you find out what it is that you really want was what you carried with you the entire time, you know? And no matter where you go, just know that you have within inside of you everything that you need and everything that you need to point you in the direction to where you want to go. And may it fall in line if it be God's will.
Bam.
So but we're all, riding that wave and riding that line back and forth, coming from different angles and different directions. So that's the way life is. But we try to trajectorize ourselves, if that's the way.
Yeah, I love that,
Anyway, just
James.
wanted to jump in and say, yeah, good word.
Thank you so much for jumping by. Always like, I'm telling you, you get like these nugs of gold, and it's like, yes. And I always appreciate hearing them. So thank you. Um, and I love it, Sir Jester. You're awesome.
I like listening to
We
James talk.
yes. It's like I wouldn't say 50-50 because I always learn something. Sometimes I learn a lot more than others, but I always learn something. And I really appreciate it. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we all in this together, and I really like what he mentioned. Oh, there's a lot that I could speak on. I will not go too much on a rant though, but absolutely like, yeah, you all are always looking for it, and you realize, like he said, like projecting out, we actually always have what we need, but we're always looking for more. We're always wanting more, but we have everything we want technically once it's within. Yeah, absolutely. So, Isaiah, any last words? Thank you so much again for just joining in, everyone. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you so
Yeah, of
much for
course. I love it being
showing
here,
up.
talking to you guys.
We gonna do this more. Yeah.
Mm.
You just feeling the heart, feeling the gratitude, feeling the love.
Still ignoring the bugs.
I hear birds
I
though,
don't
so
have to
that's
freak
good.
out when they just like fly right here.
Ooh, well, it depends what kind of bugs, to be honest. But you know what? They could be little spirit animal. And yeah, thank you so much. I love you all, and I'm going to close the vibe, the chat. I'm again like, thank you so much for joining. You are awesome. I love you, Isaiah. Love you,
Thank you, everybody
everyone.
in the chat.
Yes, and have a good bike ride back. Be safe. See you later.
See you later. I love you.